Hey guys, welcome to another episode about ESP programming, and today we are going to talk about UDP packages and communication using UDP protocol. So as you know, UDP is second most important protocol on the internet, and the main difference between UDP and TCP is that with TCP you are getting acknowledgement that package is received. If that package is not received, that very same package is going to be sent once more. In any way, you are going to get complete message or not message at all. With UDP, you are never sure that your message arrived at destination. This difference makes UDP much lighter for the network, but you are going to use this protocol only if you don't have to get every single message at destination address. And for this particular episode, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, but you could use any other IDE that you like. Okay, first what we need to include few more packages. So we need to include Esp8266 Wi-Fi.h, then we need to include Wi-Fi UDP.h. Now we need two constant char variables, constant char pointers. First is SSID. In here we are going to store name of our Wi-Fi connection. In second, we are going to store password that we need in order to connect to our local Wi-Fi. And of course I'm going to fill these two fields later on. Now what we need is unsigned integer port, where we are going to store our port number. I'm going to use port 10001. Now we need character buffer. So in this buffer we are going to store receive message, and now I need another character buffer. Let's call it rbuff, and I am going to create message something like message received, return, and new line. So in order to test this catch, I'm going to use netcat on my PC. So I'm going to connect to my microcontroller to send some message that is going to print to our serial monitor, and then we are going to receive message received to our PC terminal. And finally, what else we need? It's Wi-Fi UDP object. Call it UDP, oh, just UDP, like this. Okay. And now in void setup, first thing that we are going to do, we are going to initialize our serial monitor with baud rate of 9600. Then we are going to initialize our Wi-Fi with Wi-Fi begin, and we are going to provide SSID and password. All right, but first I want to set Wi-Fi mode. Wi-Fi mode, set it to Wi-Fi STA. All right, now we are going to wait until communication is established. So I'm going to use while loop as always. We are going to check for Wi-Fi status. While it's not WL underscore connected, what we are going to do, we are going to print to our serial monitor asterisk. Okay, and we are going to make delay of, sorry, half of second. Okay, that's cool. After Wi-Fi connection is established, I'm going to print IP address. All right, and I want to see local IP from our Wi-Fi. And finally, I want to use UDP to initialize UDP with our port number. Alright, so our void setup is done, and now we are going to deal with void loop. And now make some space in here because we are going to need a lot of space. So first thing that we are going to do, we are going to create one integer, call it size, and we are going to get it from UDP parse packet. Alright, so with this variable we are going to check for size of upcoming message. And now if that size is not a negative number, what we are going to do, a lot of things. First I'm going to use my serial to print that very same size. Now serial print ln, but we need dot in here, and I'm going to make space, bytes, received, and 3 dots. This looks nice. Alright, and now I'm going to copy these 2 lines. So next what we are going to do, I want to know where from that message is coming from. Okay, so remote IP, column space, and we are going to get that remote IP with UDP dot remote IP dot to string. Oh, what's wrong? Ah, yeah, it's typo, not UPD, UDP, and I have to change it in here. UPD. UDP. Let me save this. Why we have error in here? Okay, I'm going to delete this. So UDP remote IP to string. Okay, everything is fine. And now let's go with another piece of data. So now we need to know remote port. Okay, and of course I'm going to get it from UDP dot remote port. Another. Okay, so UDP destination IP, and we need to use method toString. Then next one, so local port, so UDP local port. Okay, what else we can do? Let's see, free heap. This could be valuable information. So ESP get free heap. Okay, this is cool. I'm going to remove these unnecessary empty spaces. And now with int num, we are going to call UDP dot read, and we are going to read into buffer, and we are going to read 1034 elements. That is maximum number of elements for this buffer. And now we are going to use buffer for num to set it to, just like this, set it to 0 in order to terminate this string. And finally we are going to print our message message colon space, and now serial dot println, and we are going to print our buffer. All right, and now we are going to return message. So udp dot begin. Once again, typo. UDP begin packet UDP to remote IP, and we are sending to UDP dot remote port. So actually we are sending message where it came from. Okay, now I'm going to write that very same message. So UDP dot write, and we are going to write our buff. So message that we have prepared. Let me show you. That is this message received. Okay, and finally UDP and packet. All right, guys. So that's all. So finally, I'm going to add my credentials. We are going to build this project, and we are going to upload it on my microcontroller so we could perform tests. Okay, I entered my credentials, but there is one mistake that we have to correct right now. This message is going to be returned, but only if is received. So this piece of code is going to be inside of this if loop. Okay, now everything looks great. I'm going to save this, build this project, then we are going to upload it. All right, it's built. Let's upload it. All right, and now I'm going to open my serial monitor. Let's see where it is. Okay. Now I'm going to restart my microcontroller, and let's see what we are going to get. Okay, we have IP address of 192.168.0.25, and I'm going to open my terminal now. So I'm going to use netcat application for this purpose with key U. So we are going to call 192.168.0.25. So I'm going to use port 10,001. Okay, now I'm going to send some message. Let's say something like, hey, something creative like this. Let's see what we are going to get. So we got a message received back from our microcontroller, but in here we have 26 bytes received from address of my PC from my local network. Remote port, it's 52111. Destination package, it's 192.168.0.25. Local port on our microcontroller, it's 10.0.0.1. We have almost 50 kilobytes of free heap, and this is message text. So guys, that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope that you have learned something interesting. So please like, subscribe, and see ya!